All right, back to the reality for the Miami Heat and back to 500, where they seem to keep falling to. Ethan Skolnick here at Kaseya Center with Alex Lito. The Heat lose 126-106 to the best in the East Cavs. The Heat did beat the Cavs the last time they were down here. This one was not remotely close. The Cavs, 43 of 58 from inside the arc tonight. No resistance from the Heat at all around the rim. We never even saw the Ware, Bam, Jovic lineup. They never got to it. The Cavs didn't really need to go as big as they usually do, and it didn't turn out that they needed Darius Garland either. Terry Rozier had a big scoring night, but struggled in other ways. He always scores against Cleveland. He typically has throughout his career. Didn't make a difference in this game. Tyler Hero, slow start, picked it up late. Not enough. Donovan Mitchell was the best player on the floor tonight. And even with a decent game from Bam Adebayo, just not enough from Miami. Again, they just keep finding this level. Every time we say, okay, they're making progress, they're breaking through, they have a game like this where they look like they don't have enough creation and they don't put enough pressure on the ball defensively.
Yeah, I agree with you. Honestly, my expectations were low coming into this game. I wouldn't have been surprised if they would have lost both the Magic and the Cavs game. Like, if you would have told me that ahead of time, like, I don't think anybody would have been that surprised. Like, when you just look at it, they have not beaten the good teams this season. Right, they've had a couple, right, but especially now, like without Jimmy, I just think their margin for error shrinks, and they competed for most of the night, and then things just kind of got out of hand there in the second half. And honestly, it's kind of what you expect. And I've said this since the Jimmy stuff has unfolded, and since all the suspensions, is that without him, they take more threes, right? It's a bigger part of their shot profile on top of like the fact that they were already doing that more than last season. But now it feels like they depend on it a little bit more, and they're kind of hit or miss. Their offenses when it comes to the threes. Like I think tonight both teams didn't shoot well from three, but like you mentioned, the Cavs frankly just got whatever they wanted in the paint. Not only at the rim, but in the mid-range, and it ended up coming out to, I think, 17 more made field goals in the Heat from two, and that's just a huge difference, right? Like, if you're already not making the threes, you can't get absolutely killed, on the twos. You allowed a 90th percentile or higher offensive rating both overall and in the half court. That's just not going to get it done. Like I mentioned, their offense is kind of hit or miss when the threes are not falling, and then on defense, even though like they have these flashes where they look like they can really put together a nice defense, like they did in that Magic game down the stretch when they came back, like they don't do it at a consistent level. So even though like their defensive rating still looks okay for the season and all those types of things, like they just feel very inconsistent there, for their standard compared to other seasons. It's just not enough versus these good teams.
One thing to watch, Jaime Jaquez did not play in the second half. Pelle Larsson got his minutes. Jaquez has really, really struggled. They just keep leaving him open with that corner three. He's not making it. And again, no Alec Burks again tonight. And I just think, even with Rozier's big game tonight, this is something Spoelstra needs to look at. At least he's a professional who can make a three. If they're going to lean on the threes, have your, one of your two or three best three-point shooters on the floor. I would look at that a little bit more. But anyway, the Heat lose here. They go to San Antonio on Saturday. Of course, a lot of conversation about San Antonio with the De'Aaron Fox stuff. Road trip coming up, Philadelphia, the Nets, Chicago. See if Miami can go 2-2. With where they're going this season, it looks like 2-2 is the most likely scenario. I'm Ethan Skolnick. For Alex Lito, I'm Ethan Skolnick. Check out the rest of the coverage. We'll have a podcast up here later on 5 Reasons YouTube.